Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog, reminding you that a Venus flytrap catches its prey, chiefly insects and arachnids, with a jaw-like clamping structure, which is formed by the terminal portion of each of the plants. Touches one of these hairs, the trap prepares if a second hair is contacted within approximately 20 seconds of the first contact. Will only begin digestion after 5 or more stimuli are activated, ensuring that it has caught a live prey. It is not advised to insert your penis into a Venus flytrap. I'm Nick, and except for this intro, I wrote the script.
And I'm Dominic. Except for this intro, I haven't read any of it.
What are we reading today, Dominic?
We are reading Sonic the Hedgehog number 15. Release date? August of 1994. Publication date? October of 1994. Rockin The Bot, Part 1. Script by Angelo De Cesare and penciled by Dave Manock. Sonic is showing off for us, the reader. He's going for a little jaunt in the middle of a thunderstorm, dodging lightning bolts and raindrops. During his fun little jaunt, he happens upon a frog that has been trapped under a fallen tree at the base of a mountain. Sonic, being a lover of nature, decides to help the frog and grab him from under the fallen tree. Just as he decides this, a mudslide starts sliding down the muddy mountain, right for our friend, the frog. Sonic sprints and yanks the frog out from under the tree mere milliseconds before the mudslide crashed into that fallen tree. The frog is thankful and decides to repay Sonic by making Sonic magical. Sonic says, "Magical? I think you've been bouncing on too many lily pads, bro."
That's a dick joke, right?
Bounce on some dick. The frog replies, "Spirits of nature, powers of love, send this kind hedgehog a gift from above." Just then, a green stone, a yellow stone, and a red stone falls on Sonic's head. "Those are magic stones. Each will endow you with a special power. The green stone will give you great strength. The red will give you your body elasticity. The yellow will enable you to leap from a great distance. Use them wisely, Hedgehog, but remember, each special power only lasts a few moments. Farewell." The frog then hops off, leaving Sonic to his fortune. Sonic decides that these 3 stones are useless and decides to give them to Tails, telling him that they are good luck stones. A few days later, we see the Freedom Fighters in a vehicle that Rotor has designed called a Land Rover. A buggy-like vehicle, purple, with 2 large tires in the middle, and small tires with suspension in the rear and front. For reasons not unknown to us, the reader, the Freedom Fighters are crossing... Sorry, for reasons unknown to us. Yeah,
okay.
You put not unknown.
Okay, well...
Unless
No, that made no sense to me too. You read it, I was like, what the fuck is he saying?
For reasons unknown to us, the reader, the Freedom Fighters are crossing the Mobian Badlands. The Freedom Fighters are discussing how great Rotor's vehicle is, and that the only thing they have to worry about is Robotnik finding them. Tails chimes in, saying, "I guarantee that Robotnik won't even come for us, guys." The reason being, Tails has the lucky stones that Sonic gave him, and he believes in the stones. We cut to Snively and Robotnik, watching the Freedom Fighters chug along what they call the Forbidden Zone. Robotnik, while annoyed that the Freedom Fighters are crossing the Forbidden Zone, is equally excited to try out his new invention, the Beetle Bot. Did that sound like butt?
No, I don't think so.
We cut to the Freedom Fighters moving across a desert when suddenly it appears to be night. The Freedom Fighters are confused. They look up and see a giant mechanical beetle falling right on them. In what I consider a power move,
Robotnik, while piloting this beetle mech that is falling in the sky, shoots Rotor's Land Rover, blowing up the vehicle. The freedom fighters are thrown into a giant ditch. All are wounded. The beetle mech is towering above them. In the eyes of this beetle mech, you can see a faint shadow of Robotnik and Snively looking down on the helpless freedom fighters.
Surrender yourselves immediately, or I'll be forced to give you a demonstration of the Beetlebot's power.
It looks as if the freedom fighters have finally met their match. Just then, Tails pulls out his lucky stones. Sonic, in this moment, decides that the only chance they have is if the stones are actually magic. Sonic takes the stones, but realizes that he couldn't remember which stone did what. Just then, Robotnik in his Beetlebot holds a giant boulder over the freedom fighters. Are you ready to... Are you ready?
Robotnik.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That line looked like Sonic's.
Okay,
I forgot.
Are you ready for a little rock and roll, freedom fighters?
End of part 1.
That'd be pretty cool if Sonic said that, though.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
I was going to ask you what you thought, but I have thoughts.
Okay.
I'm pissed.
Oh, you're pissed.
Why the fuck does Sonic not believe in magic when, like, what, 6 issues? No, honestly, it's like probably issue like 3 or 4. They're talking about a magic ring that brings them to an alternate dimension that, like, the rules of physics doesn't make sense, and he hangs out with vertical and horizontal.
That's sci-fi. If you just wave sci-fi...
He refers to the ring as magic.
I
went back and I looked.
Correct. Directly, you are correct.
Damn straight, I'm right.
You could imply that it's like...
I'm becoming a stickler about Sonic Archie lore already.
He could have been sarcastic. You could retroactively say, I agree with you. I agree. But you could retroactively say that, retcon that, like, oh, he was just being sarcastic. He didn't mean magic rings. He meant, like, it's so sci-fi, it's magic.
I don't like this answer, but it's good enough where I'm not going to fight back.
You will admit, though, that some sci-fi is so magic that it's really just, you just waved a hand over.
I mean, sci-fi is just magic, but with jargon behind it.
Well, okay, if it depends on, like, are we talking like Hanlon, Arthur C. Clarke, hard sci-fi, which is still a degree of magic.
All of it. Like, even to the point where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to teleport like you from one place to another, like in Star Trek. Like, that's still magic until we have that technology. I mean, is it based in reality? Maybe, but there's no difference between teleporting someone from like a spaceship to a planet or using like magic in, say, like medieval. I'm saying it like medieval magic was real, but you know what I mean when I say like classic fantasy.
Until it's made real.
Exactly. Right. It's all magic.
So what you're saying is that we need to invest in a pharmaceutical company, preferably one that works with the military-industrial complex.
Ideally.
And then make magic stones.
Yes.
That give a soldier extra strength.
So I'm already not for this plan.
Oh.
Because I want to give these people mechs. Specifically the mechs at the end of The Matrix 3 when they're all in Zion and all the robots are coming in and they got the machine guns and they're shooting up in the sky.
I'm not as generous on those Matrix sequels, I think, as you are.
I like them all.
I would like the action sequences. That is the one thing that keeps me like, you know what? This action sequence, even if the CGI is a little, is fairly dated, it's still got a lot going for it.
Okay,
like,
I think the CGI holds up, and that was made in like what, 2002?
I agree. Okay, I was specifically thinking of. Well, I'm back and forth on this. I'm specifically thinking of I think in Reloaded, where it's Neo versus the Smith.
Yeah, and he's running around in a circle.
Yeah,
with
and it's
the
like,
pole.
okay, that's not a little rough. That's pretty rough. But even, it's still it's a lot better than its contemporaries.
You pointed out like literally the worst one.
Right. Which is what my mind went to.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. That final Zion battle sequence where they're in the mechs and the dude is just screaming. "Ah!" Actually, I watched that a couple times. That dude is just screaming the whole way through. Like, as soon as it hits like halfway, he is screaming the whole time.
He's fighting for his life. Yeah.
It's so epic. It's so cool.
So good. I love the Matrix.
The river of robots. Yeah.
This honestly, I kind of just want to watch the Matrix now. I'm a Matrix 2 and 3 defender. I'm not going to say they're perfect movies, but I love them.
I'm not an attacker. Do you like the Animatrix?
Yeah, I think it's great.
I think so too.
Give me fucking, what was it, that robot Jesus storyline? or like, it was straight up, if I remember correctly, they were just like a Moses plot line, but with robots.
I think so. There was like a samurai battle, which was like representative of like the Matrix, like the powers you can have within the Matrix.
I don't remember that one. It's been, I saw it. I actually
everyone remembers the Second Renaissance, which is the backstory to the Matrix.
Yeah, where they're like, we're idiots and let's block out the sky.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You know what? What a human move. I can't hate it.
The thing, especially in a post-2020 world, where it's like, oh, that's so unrealistically stupid. Nah.
No, I see it.
Yeah, I see it now.
We're already talking about like putting stuff in the air to like deflect sunlight because the ice caps are melting.
Yeah.
And it's very much like, remember in Futurama when they're like, we got to drop a giant ice cube in the ocean?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes more sense than what we're attempting.
Okay, you know what? On the topic of Futurama, I do think one thing that I think is a good idea
from Futurama
is... Say what?
Tubes for travel.
No, you're going to hit your head on shit.
Oh, yeah.
But flinging trash into the sun. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But now the plot, I don't know. Actually, I need to watch the episode again. I don't know why, because they shoot,
I don't think they shoot it into the sun.
They don't. And because it comes back. The point is that it comes back. And the whole point is like, well, that's a problem for 100 years from now.
Yeah.
Or 1,000 years from now. But it's like, why didn't you just shoot it into the sun? Maybe they set a line and then whatever, but...
if I remember correctly, they could only divert it. And so when it came, they were able to like push it just a little bit to miss Earth. And they're like, yeah, by our calculations, it'll hit Earth again in like 1,000 years. Yeah. And they're like, well, whatever.
Exactly. Great metaphor, but you could have just flung it into the sun.
Yeah.
And I still think that's a great idea.
We won't do it because it's too expensive.
That's the cheapest one out of them all, brother.
So that's my biggest thing is Sonic just immediately is like, magic doesn't... What's magic?
Okay, would you kiss a frog for these stones?
Oh my god. Wait. I mean, yeah, I just... Whatever, it's a frog. I'd kiss frog.
Okay.
But...
it's not this frog, it's like a realistic frog.
Oh. Well, this frog was like a lot more cuter than a realistic
exactly, 100%.
frog.
That's why I'm asking the question.
Well, is it the same rules as these stones? Do I only get to use them once?
I don't... Yes. Yeah, same rules. Everything's the same except the frog. The frog is a realistic frog now. You're looking at a real frog.
Can I keep on kissing him for more stones?
You know what? Yes.
Then yeah, 100%. If I could get like 1,000 of these stones, yeah, I'm going to trap that guy. He's going to become my buddy. I'm going to feed him crickets all the time, and he's going to feed me stones.
And you're just going to have to get used to the kissing.
Yeah, what?
You'll have like
I'll have a wart on my lip permanently. But I'd be able to just jump everywhere. Dude, I could jump high. How cool would that be?
Your thing about jumping is so funny to me. It's like, I just want to jump really high.
It'd be really cool, man.
Do you know how much of human like point of view, how much we structure everything is not based on jumping high?
Yeah. That's why I want to get above the man.
But like it's gonna be so inconvenient. I'm assuming the rules is that you'll jump and then you'll come back down and like it won't hurt, right? It's implied that you'll jump high, but then you'll have your legs will be able to.
I mean, yourself. I would like that to be the rule, right. But if that's not the rule, that's not the rule.
You'll still want to jump high.
Hey, I can jump onto things. See that tree? I can get to the top of it, man. See that mountain? I can climb it. So the interesting thing about this episode,
okay,
it's like honestly the only interesting thing in this whole comic, I think, is that there is an area that Robotnik calls the Forbidden Zone, and I'm like, oh,
yeah. What's the thing about
what's Lord? That, right? Yeah, that's the first time I would have remembered Forbidden Zone. That's a good name.
That's actually the Superman comics thing.
Is it?
Yeah, the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, that's where they send Zod. The Forbidden Zone, and it's like a triangle. But like,
I don't think that's the Forbidden Zone.
I'm actually pretty confident that I'm like 80% sure it's the Forbidden Zone. Look up Superman Forbidden Zone right now. Yep, there it is.
Phantom Zone. Phantom Zone. Dumbass. Oh. You fucking dumbass.
I'm a fucking dumbass.
Forbidden Zone reminds me of the comedy musical Forbidden Zone, obviously. No, is it?
That's what it makes me think of, is the Phantom Zone.
What's the name of the area in what is it, Stravinsky's Stalker? Is it Forbidden Zone?
Stravinsky? Stravinsky's the composer.
Okay, not that guy.
Rite of Spring, motherfucker. Tchaikovsky? That's actually another composer.
Zone.
Sorry.
Exclusion.
Stalker. You're right. The Exclusion Zone. We both just name drop Russian composers, thinking it's like
they're all the same, right?
No.
Wonder if it's the same. I'm not.
Did you play Stalker?
Distracted.
Did you play Stalker?
Did I play it? No, I want to. It's on my to play list.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
But also, it's also called the Mobian Badlands.
Yeah, I like how they have two different names for it.
Yeah, I like
him,
that
it's Forbidden
too.
Zone. It's like in the Civil War, every battle has two different names.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, so I believe the Confederacy would name battles after like local, like the nearest like locality. Mm-hmm. So like the first Battle of Bull Run, which is the Union name, the Confederate name for that, I believe, was the first Battle of not Chattanooga.
And you were so close to sounding cool.
I was so close to going to him. Damn it! But everything I said up to that was correct.
What was their name for Gettysburg?
I think that one was just Gettysburg because it's literally the biggest battle ever fought in North America.
That makes sense.
In the Western Hemisphere, I think. Yeah. Yes.
In the Western Hemisphere,
because that's just North and South America. The biggest battle. Yeah, if you think about it, that is the biggest battle. Yeah. Bigger than anything in South America.
Okay.
Bigger than, because the last major war was the Civil War in North America.
No, Spanish America War was
not even close. Okay. Not even close.
I believe you. I just don't know wars.
I'm thinking. I really think it was. That's how big. Well, that's how big the American Civil War was.
Right.
Yeah.
Beetle mech is kind of cool.
I like it. I don't like bugs, but I do appreciate bug-based villainware.
A very hyper-specific thing you appreciate, but yes. I can get behind it.
Just because it's like the bugs are like the like you can't reason with a bug, right? You can't.
You could reason with the Terminator.
Yeah, but the Terminator was hot.
He was. So I let a lot slide with it.
Yeah. You can't train I don't think you can train a tarantula. Not even a big tarantula. You couldn't train that one.
Are you? What? I mean, you say that, but what if it starts like writing notes in its web?
That'd be pretty impressive.
It would be. I'm just saying, maybe they can learn to love.
Call me Wilbur and put a tear in my eye.
I don't know what we're saying. Do you have any comments on this first part?
No, it's such a clear, like just a setup episode.
Yeah,
it's like
there's really nothing to talk about.
Setup story. Yeah, there's really nothing.
We really elongated that one.
All right, here we go. Rockin the Bot, Part 2. Real quick, can you look up first Battle of Bull Run on Wikipedia? This is gonna piss me off.
I got you.
Manassas. Oh, fucker. Yeah, first Battle of, yeah, it's Manassas. Yep, I knew that too. Okay.
I super didn't, so.
Rockin the Bot, Part 2. The boulder has been thrown at the Freedom Fighters. All of the Freedom Fighters dive in opposite directions, except Sonic.
What?
Okay, never mind.
No, that's why I said except Sonic, because
right.
all of them except Sonic.
You're right. Okay. Sonic holds the red stone in his hand and tells everyone that he'll toss the boulder right back at the Beetlebot. Sonic stands under the boulder with arms wide open. Splat! The boulder has landed on Sonic. Sonic's goo flies everywhere, like a hydraulic press with Play-Doh. Just then, Sonic reforms and is crawling out from under the boulder. Sonic grabbed the red stone, which was the stone that gives you elasticity. Robotnik is filled with anger and maneuvers the BeetleBot down into the ditch that the Freedom Fighters are in. Sonic pulls out the remaining 2 stones and is trying to figure out which stone is for leaping and which stone is for strength. Robotnik takes the claw of the BeetleBot and is swinging the claw towards the Freedom Fighters. Sonic pulls out the yellow stone and is going to attempt to ram into the BeetleBot with the strength stone. Sonic starts to jump and flies hundreds of feet away from the BeetleBot. We cut to the Freedom Fighters sans Sonic, all captured in the claws of the BeetleBot. The BeetleBot opens its hard-cased back to reveal wings. Robotnik is going to fly Tails, Sally, Buns, Rotor, and Antoine back to his headquarters, and there's nothing Sonic can do to stop him. Unless Sonic takes a strength stone and carves into the side of a mountain with a giant slab of rock. Then he takes a dead tree hunk and slams it into the slab, creating a giant fly swatter. He takes the fly swatter and swats the BeetleBot out of the air, destroying it in one fell swoop. Sonic helps the Freedom Fighters out of the ditch when Sonic realizes that the frog was telling the truth the whole time and that he was magical. We cut to Sally and Rotor watching Sonic, asking a bunch of frogs if they're magical. None respond. After all, magic isn't real. End of part 2.
I just hate the fact that there's some animals that can talk and some that can't. It annoys me so much.
It really is what do you call it? Not a dichotomy. Not a dichotomy, but it's like there's a dissonance. There's a dissonance there where it's like, yeah, I'm looking at animals, but some of them just do not have that cognitive function. Yeah. And it's weird. It's a little weird.
It's so weird.
But you just kind of have to get used to it because that goes all the way back to like Looney Tunes at least.
Oh, I wonder if there's going to come a point where they don't do that anymore.
True.
Or yeah.
My ideal, and I swear there was like a teaser animatic for this official, but like there are that's why I like Sonic stories where everyone's just an animal. Mm-hmm. Then there's like no humans.
Yeah,
maybe Robotnik, but that's saying something about like humans are true extraterrestrial in this world, in this form of nature. I really like that, and I think I remember there was like here's like a test we did with the Sonic X animation before we made Sonic X, and we decided to put in all these humans, and it was Sonic in a animal world, and he crashes to a bar. I think I'm gonna go on a deep dive for this. He crashes into like a bar while being chased by someone, and it's like all the bar patrons are animals, and it's like cool, that makes sense. And it's like everyone's colorful, and this is a cool world.
Are you sure?
This is like mid 2000s.
Okay, this isn't like Sonic the OVA or something like that.
It could be the OVA, but I could have sworn it had the Sonic X.
I haven't seen the OVA since I was like 12.
I think, I would have recognized it because that is a distinct animation style. Japanese 90s.
It does look more. It looks cartoony.
Older. Right.
It doesn't have that edge.
And even then, that has like human animal hybrids. But it's like a 5-minute thing. There is a very real chance I was looking at a fan animation and it just looks so good. I just thought it was real.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn. So I'll have to look that up.
I like the Sonic like out of fish. Fish out of water story of Sonic coming to like a human world.
But I think it's been done so many times now where I don't think you can do that anymore.
Oh, I agree. It was you
could, but to me it's very.
I mean, I think the biggest downfall of Sonic X, from what I remember, I haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't seen it straight through. I've only just caught random episodes when I was a kid. But I despise the kid that they forced him to hang out with, and I was like, you can still have like a kid, just don't have him be there all the fucking time.
I visited Sonic Central, that old website on like the Wayback Machine, and one of them was like, check out Sonic X, airing now on 4Kids TV, and like they had like wallpapers. It was really funny. Chris, that kid, was in the middle, front and center.
Yeah.
Of like most of those wallpapers.
That makes sense.
And I'm like, you really wanted us to relate to this kid, didn't you? It's not working.
Yeah, I think, you don't need it, but I think there was like an exec up high that's like, you need some kid for the people to relate to, because you can't relate to these animals. I don't know. That's just me talking out of my ass. But
no, that I completely believe that. I would believe that because that does seem how the show was geared towards. And again, I'm not completely opposed against humans in Sonic World or Sans Robotnik, or even like having side characters that are cool. But like it was so focused on that, and it was just character bloat. This was the era of Sonic where it was hardcore character bloat. So it really burned me bad on having humans in Sonic's world. I prefer where, like Robotnik is the human and Stively, but then like he's the bad guy. He represents it's industry versus nature and all that stuff.
I wonder if they did that human storyline aspect because Sonic Adventure was such a huge hit. And
that, you know what? I believe that.
Yeah.
I would believe that.
And that had like a very weird world that like really didn't make sense because it did feel like Sonic was kind of like
used to it.
Yeah, it felt more like there was only the Sonic cast and everyone else was humans.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if they were like, this is a huge success. Let's go with that and do Sonic X and then lift some of those storylines from Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure
clearly
2.
It worked. I think Sonic X was like commercially successful at least. But.
A spoiler, one day, not soon, can't stress that enough, we're going to watch Sonic X.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about it episode by episode. I'm a broken person. I own Sonic X on Blu-ray.
What? I didn't know this.
Well, technically it's standard definition on Blu-ray because that's just how it is these days.
That's how I'm going to remember it.
But I bought Sonic X again.
Okay, you are broken, but yes. HD?
No, the Japanese dub.
I don't care about that.
Apparently, it's pretty different.
Really? Oh, you know what? Yes, you are correct. And you're right. This is like season 3 or 4 of Sonic X. They're in space. There's a whole character that's a plant. I'm not joking, so we'll come back to that dick sucking joke. But it's yeah. Like Tails, spoilers, I guess. Tails has to.
I'm not going to remember.
Yeah. Tails has to make a sacrifice. I'll just say that. Tails has to make a sacrifice, and in the 4Kids dub, the English dub, it's like, well, this is sad. Okay, and then he makes a sacrifice. In the Japanese dub, I remember watching this on YouTube at the time. In the Japanese dub, he is like crying. He is like banging it's like Shinji.
Nice.
Right? It's like he's banging his head against the console and he's like yelling and crying. It's like, dude, this is awesome. This is like raw emotion coming from Tails the Fox.
I'm super into that.
Yeah.
So
you know what? We're gonna watch the Japanese dub.
Well, I mean,
Japanese, yeah.
I was gonna watch them both. So yes, I know I'm a broken person. I know this. I think we're done. I think
we're done.
I mean, did we even talk about it outside of that?
It's a typical pulpy story. There's some funny gags. I think my favorite line out of here is "Time for some major juicing."
Yeah, that was a pretty good.
It was like me and my mangoes. It's like time to do some major juicing. What is juicing? Is it just a catch-all term?
Oh yeah,
catch-all slang term in the 90s?
Yeah. Oh, 100. Well, no, I wouldn't say the 90s. I think just for Sonic. I don't know if I've really heard it outside of the context of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I can imagine a TV executive who maybe had a black friend and was like, "Oh, I heard juicing once." That's what the cool kids say.
Yeah.
And then it like infected TV or something. I can see that being a thing, or someone can correct us. That legitimately was the slang.
We're not going to get a correction. We don't get corrections.
Okay. I thought we were going to imply that black people don't watch this show.
Oh, I mean, no one watches this show, so that's
we introduced Knuckles.
True. That's okay. No one's going to watch it still.
Okay. What's the big idea? Script by Mike Kanternovich and Ken Penders. Penciled by Art Mahwini. We open on Sonic, Sally, Tails, Antoine, and Buns standing outside of Rotor's room. Rotor has been locked up in his room all week, and the Freedom Fighters are trying to figure out what he could be building. Sonic thinks back to the time Rotor tried to make carbonated milkshakes, which led to a massive explosion. Sally thinks back to that time Rotor tried to combine jelly and bread to streamline the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which led to some disgusting jelly bread. Buns starts dreaming up a creation that would benefit all of animal kind. A self-watering garden. Okay. A self-watering garden. Sonic thinks that's a dumb idea and starts thinking about something way cooler. A nuclear-powered skateboard. Sally thinks this is a dumb idea and starts thinking of a better idea. Glow-in-the-dark popcorn. Sonic thinks this is a dumb idea and thinks that Rotor could be creating the Stay Fresh light bulb. Sally retorts by saying that light bulbs don't spoil. Sonic wisely asks, why do you put them in refrigerators then? Just then, Rotor's door flies open and Rotor is holding his newest invention, the thermos. It keeps hot things hot and cold things cold. Sonic and Sally are both trying to figure out why they would want that, while Tails is immediately excited to put it in his lunchbox. End of what's the big idea.
I don't.
It's a slice of life. This is like one-shot energy. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is 100% one-shot energy. They gave it too many shots, though.
Yeah. Is thermos one of those things where it's like not Kleenex but tissue, not Band-Aid?
I think
but
so.
Bandage. Yeah.
I think it's a trademarked like actual.
Oh no, I'm stupid. It's a thermos, and then you see TM by the word thermos. Interesting. So I guess the joke is that Rotor invented something that's already been invented, right?
I don't even know if that's the joke.
I think that's the joke. I think it's a cute moment that like they're all thinking of what Rotor could be building and his wacky ideas.
Yeah.
But the punchline really isn't good here. And then they're trying to
But
No, I don't think you mentioned this. The thermos and the lunchbox have Sonic the Hedgehog branding on it, which if they have that specific thermos and lunchbox, I will buy that shit. But
no, because this already exists because it's Tails' lunchbox.
Okay, but I'm saying in like real life. Sorry. I'm saying in real life.
Well, I meant I don't get this comic.
It's a punchline.
There's a what's that?
Ken and Mike were still on vacation from that last episode, from that last issue.
What is the what's like the standard lunchbox kind of like hard case? Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Is it Igloo brand or
I don't know. I do not know the brand.
They're doing a Sonic promotion right now, and you can buy like a lunchbox with like old school Sonic and Amy on it and stuff. Honestly, I'm a dork because I was like, I kind of want to buy this.
Yeah. Would you use it? Would you carry that to work?
I work from home, so yeah.
On days where you don't work from home.
Yeah.
You would bring that. You'd bring that with you. You'd roll up on the guys and be like, "Hey guys, boom."
I mean, I would eat in my car.
Not because you're ashamed of Sonic, but because
I don't want to talk to people.
There was someone at my work that would literally do that every time.
Is that me?
No. I can't say the name. But
yeah. No,
it's they would do that every time. I'm like, dear God, this is really getting to you because this job is really getting to you because he literally did not want to talk to anyone.
That's intense.
He just wanted to eat in his car and decompress. Which respect, I'm not lambasting that whatsoever. I'm just like commenting how like, wow, that's unfortunate. I feel sorry. I'm sorry.
That's rough, kid.
Animal Magnetism. That's the name of the story. Animal Magnetism. Script by Angelo De Cesare and penciled by Art Mahwini. We open on Robotnik and Snively, watching a very intimate camera angle of Tails and Buns. Tails wanted to play on his swing, but the tree branch broke. Buns, instead of tying the swing to a new branch, decides to debut a new power to us instead. She extends her legs 15 feet high and holds the swing ropes for Tails. Robotnik is disgusted by the image. Snively, out of nowhere, describes Buns as a half rabbit and half robot. Robotnik is annoyed at this obvious observation and states, "I'm aware of that, you fool. I'm going to use that half robot to bring about the complete downfall of Sonic and his friends." Later, in the Great Forest, we see Sonic, Rotor, and Tails barbecuing out in the park, with Sally and Antoine off in the distance keeping a lookout for Robotnik. Rotor is making his favorite, barbecue mush, which happens to be Sonic's least favorite. Buns comes walking up with a ladle for Rotor to serve everyone some barbecue mush when the ladle, almost possessed, flies out of Buns' hands. Buns, Sonic, and Rotor look around and notice all the metallic objects are whizzing by. Everything metal is flying away, including Bunny. We cut to Bunny flying through the sky, with pots and pans flying all around her. Buns, in this moment, decides to use a pun that she used 4 issues prior. Talk about a hair-raising experience. I'm dissatisfied with your writing, Angelo De Cesare. It was exactly 4 issues ago.
I made up 4 issues ago.
Okay, but I think you're right.
I know exactly what joke it was. It was when it was a one shot, and it was I'm gonna be a hair stylist. And
yes, okay.
They do the electricity joke, and they're like, "What a hair-raising experience!"
That one makes sense. This one's more generic.
Well, I mean, I guess because she's being raised in the air. I can look it up after. It was definitely more than 4 issues ago. Now that I think it was probably like 7.
Yeah. Sonic starts to run in the direction that Bunny is flying, hoping to stop whatever it is before she gets there. He arrives and sees a giant mech with magnet arms and tank treads with Robotnik and Snively piloting. The Magbot is bringing everything that's metallic right to him. Buns has managed to hold onto a tree, but she doesn't think she'll hold on much longer. Sonic looks around when suddenly an empty can hits him in the head. That gives him an idea. A trash lid comes flying by and he grabs it and races out of the boundaries of the magnetic field. Sonic starts taunting. Robotnik and Snively noticed that he's holding onto something metallic. Robotnik turns the Magbot and turns the magnet full force trying to catch Sonic. Robotnik misses and ends up pulling all the metal nearby straight to him. We cut to Sonic and Buns walking away from the Magbot that is now covered in machines. The Magbot is unable to move and has been defeated. We cut to Knothole. All the Freedom Fighters are safe. Rotor has coated Buns with a special solution that will make it so no magnet can attract you. She says to Rotor, "Thanks, Sugar, but I never thought I'd want my magnetic personality to be unattractive." The Freedom Fighters laugh in unison. The end.
I hate this issue so fucking much.
So you're talking about that thing at the end where it's like, or what are you talking about?
Everything. The plan, like the solution to the plan.
This seems like a funny...
Robotnik was like, I'm going to bring down the whole Freedom Fighter. And his whole plan was just to suck up the one person. No, he had high hopes for... he could disable one of the Freedom Fighters.
What the second most important one, to be frank.
Some would argue maybe even the most important if I feel like Sonic's... Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't like this.
What if the robot started shooting the metal?
Okay, see, that'd be cool.
They like pushed it
Yeah,
hard?
that'd be rad. It's just like a boring thing. The plan doesn't make sense. So they're going to suck up Sonic while he's holding a trash lid? Mm-hmm. You think he's not going to let go of it when he gets sucked up?
Right.
Like, none of this makes any fucking sense.
It plays into the villain's stupidity more than the smarts of the protagonist.
It plays into the poor writing of Angelo De Cesare.
I do think it's funny that's like, I agree with you that the plan here was to utilize the one element that the Freedom Fighters have the least of, which is metal. The thing you have the most of, like that's your strength.
It metal. Doesn't. Flawed from the beginning. An interesting thing I've noticed though is it seems like the past, or at least this issue, I'm kind of blanking on the past because the past was so long ago. But it seems like Robotnik is leaning towards more mech-based machinery instead of robots. That. Oh, I'm all for it. I want Robotnik to be fucking Amuro over here.
As opposed to like, here's a gun or a device in my hand.
Yeah, exactly. Something. I want him up there punching, sucking up metal, the works. But yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed with this issue.
I just like how he never utilizes the fact that he has an army.
I respect that.
You respect it?
I respect it.
Like he has.
No, I think he needs, at this point, maybe not early on, but at this point, he needs to defeat Sonic.
Got it. It's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Which he has an overabundance of.
Yeah, I 100%, I buy. That's like one of the few things I buy. Honestly, it feels like they came up with this issue because someone like in the writer's room was like, wait a minute, we can't have giant magnets because Buns is screwed. Let's make up some magic thing so that we never have to worry about Buns like ever being attracted by giant magnets.
Yes, that was the most hand-wavy thing I've seen yet from this whole series. Here, this will not make you magnetically attractive anymore.
Yeah.
This paint. I'm like, that's okay. I gotta ask. That's not a thing, right? That's
What?
literally impossible to make something unattractive through like some coat of whatever, right?
No. You probably can. I mean,
Yeah?
if you put like lead paint over it or something, would that be
They
enough?
covered Bunny in lead.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they're licking her or anything, so it's not like a problem. They don't have like children trying to eat her like paint chips. So it's probably fine.
Probably.
You know why that was like such a problem? Kids eating paint chips?
No, why?
Lead paint chips specifically.
Yeah,
It's because lead is sweet. It like
is?
tastes good.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Lettuce, dude, I want to eat lead.
Don't we all? I think if I remember correctly,
Now I just gotta drink it?
I'm like 75% sure that I think the Romans used lead as like a seasoning at one point.
That sounds right. That sounds like something they do.
Yeah.
Because that was all up in their sewage system.
Yeah. They were already
in the aqueduct system.
Yeah. They were already covered in lead.
That is one of the things that makes me like, that makes me so not happy. Just, I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny how one of the major contributors to why violence is down in this country and possibly the world is just, we can't have lead in everything.
Yeah.
And once that was removed, very clear,
Like just dropping.
just a drop in violence.
Yep.
Like literally the generations after are just inherently smarter because of this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not extremely easy to remove, but rather like it's so obvious, right? It's not a overly systemic thing where it's like, we gotta like do this, work through that or whatever. No, it's literally just the lead.
Yeah.
Like that is actually how like conservatives wish everything else worked. Where it's like, let's just remove this one simple thing and it'll fix all of our problems. No, that was the thing.
But yeah, so that just means that the lead-based generation is just leading the country at the moment. So that explains a lot.
Yeah. No, it really does.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. But to be fair, microplastics in our balls, that's the new curse.
Honestly, I don't even think it's that. It's COVID. COVID is going to make us...
Long COVID you're talking about? Like specific?
Well, I mean,
the
it's
effects of long COVID?
that and...
Or like what it did historically?
Well, that too. But there's evidence that we're like just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dumber? Or
Yeah. That everyone is just dropping IQ points left and right.
because of the effects of COVID? Like
Yeah,
when you get
and
COVID?
being reinfected over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see. That's the
Yeah.
only time can tell.
Hey, you know what? As long as we are smart enough to finish this podcast, I can get as dumb as I want. That's what I care about, baby.
And that's the episode.
And that's the issue. Only 460 left to go. I'm Nick. I stream at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus. My personal Twitter is at the Mojosaurus. My blue sky is Mojosaurus. And Dominic, you should talk.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
at Blue Collar Jazz, and my personal Twitter at Domguan1, which is also my Blue Sky.
You can follow us at socials at Gotta Talk Fast, and TikTok is Gotta Talk Faster. We also have a video version of the podcast if you're only listening to the audio, where you can follow along with panels and watch our handsome faces in real time. You can write into the show at sonicgrams at gottatalkfast.com, ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion of this week's issue. And remember, when life keeps going fast, you gotta talk fast and just get through it. I love
the fact that you're on Ritalin now, because now you can make a proper outro.
It does help. It was pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Gotta talk, gotta talk.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast, gotta talk fast, gotta talk fast.